Hi, it is 5 a.m. and I watched Morbius a couple of days ago. That was a movie. Oh, it was a movie, alright. Here's my review. Fuck it, whatever. Welcome to the Android Master Watched, the show where I basically talk about movies because that's my forte. Last time I did The Wiz and it got copyright claimed and blocked from everyone, so I don't even know why I'm mentioning that. This is episode 1, technically. So why not start it off with Morbius, Morbin time? Basically, Morbius is a movie that's set in Andrew Garfield's universe, along with Tom Holland's universe, along with maybe Tobey Maguire's universe? I don't know. This movie is very confused as to what it wants to be. It wants to be a horror movie, it wants to be an action movie, it wants to be a superhero movie, it wants to be in the MCU, it wants to be in the webverse. This movie doesn't know what it wants to be. It's such a weird movie. Like, I don't even think I want to put up clips. I'm probably just gonna replay the trailer over and over. This movie, oh my god. Like, where do I even start with this movie? First of all, it starts off with young Michael in an orphanage, kind of. He has a disease that's like really eating at his bone and muscle marrow or something like that. I don't know. I forgot what it was called. But while he's at this place, he meets another kid that has the exact same disease as he does. And the kid has a heart attack, I guess. And Morbius just fixes something, a machine, I guess, with a spring and saves his life. And they become best friends. Fun fact, by the way, the kid that he was supposed to meet was dead. And instead of, saying his actual name, which is like Lysius or some shit, he calls him Milo, which is the name of the kid that's dead. And they're still best friends. Great. This movie, I'm too tired for this. This movie, oh my god, there's so much in this movie that makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense. I'm not even gonna lie to you. None of this movie fucking makes sense. None of it. None of it. But we're gonna whirl with it because it's whatever. The only good thing in this movie is, you could argue, the CGI. That's it. That's the only good thing about this movie. And that's it. And it's crazy because a lot of the shit that was in this movie, that was in the trailer, setting up like, oh, maybe Spider-Man's gonna be in this, and maybe the Vulture and the Sinister Six are gonna show up and all that stuff. No, all of the Spider-Man imagery from the trailers, scrubbed clean. Where's my Spider-Man? Where's my Spider-Man? You told me, how am I supposed to eat this pizza without my Spider-Man, My diet Dr. Kelp. The director really wanted to pay a lot of homages to The Matrix, you know, by having a lot of slow motion scenes and a subway fight, and that's it. There are so many moments where, first of all, I almost puked like 4 times while watching this movie. Because there's so many weird camera angles, so many slow motion shots, in the grotesque face of Milo. There's like not even a lot of stuff that I could say about this movie. Like, honestly, it's on Netflix. It's an experience that, I can't even, especially me at fucking almost 6 a.m. just rambling about this movie. Like, I can't even explain this movie to its utmost, to my utmost ability. I watched the movie and I kind of had a crisis. What did they do to my boy? Because in the comics, I love me some Morbius. I love me some Morbius in the comics. Because Morbius is such a cool character. He's a living vampire, for crying out loud. It's a dude with vampire powers. Everybody wants vampire powers. The super speed, the flight, turning into mist, becoming a bat, controlling other bats, biting somebody and turning them into a vampire. Or, just sucking their blood all together. Being a vampire fucking rocks. Granted, I would love to be a werewolf instead of anything. I mean, it's less days where you can turn into a werewolf. I wouldn't want to be a werewolf that can transform on command. Hell yeah. That'd be fucking sick. Anyways, they had such a good concept. They had a stellar cast. Jared Leto actually was pretty good in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. And the guy that played Milo, excellent, excellent villain. He was very charismatic. Excuse me. He had, I don't know. He was a treasure in this movie. He was the diamond that was in the mud of this movie, because honestly, it was great. Now here's the real kicker, because like I always said, Morbius does not know what type of movie it wants to be. It wants to be a serious dramatic movie. It wants to be a comedy. It wants to be a fucking, it wants to be Batman, literally. This movie had the makings of a good Batman movie. Instead, it was a Morbius movie. What I do want to say though, I did enjoy, the comic accurate suit and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, Jared Leto does kind of invoke the look of the comics Morbius. I did enjoy that much. I was like, okay, I see you out here, Jared, trying to escape your role from being the Joker, even though you're typecast as being a villain. I really want to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man fight Morbius, because that would be pretty sick, honestly. And it's I don't know, man. It's just, I kind of hate the trope of somebody with the same superpower fighting somebody else with the same superpower, because it's kind of redundant. Unless one of those characters is a little bit stronger than the other, then no, it's just a terrible fight scene. And then they kind of sequel bait us a bunch of times during the ending of the movie. First of all, with the love interest of, I forgot her name, but she's pretty, so there you go. The love interest kind of biting his lip and becoming an undead vampire. And her entire outing in the comics, where she is trying to kill Morbius and make him an undead vampire, as just the same as she is, because she died. She literally dies, and then she came back to life. It's a lot. It's a lot. This movie is just wow. Just wow. However, I did see the ending of the movie coming a mile away. When they're in. So Morbius comes up with a cure for his vampiring disease after, literally, let me just, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Milo discovers that Michael Morbius gave himself the ability to become a vampire. And there was one scene in the entire movie that I was actually excited to see, and that was the ship scene. And I enjoyed that scene because the ship scene is sick. Dude, come on. You gotta admit, one dude versus a shit ton of other dudes. However, there was one scene where a dude was getting his throat slit, and it was supposed to be more gruesome. There was supposed to be blood spewing out of his throat, but really he kind of just gave him a little. And it's weird because they left the sound effects in, they just didn't put the effects of the actual blood splattering on the dude in the movie and stuff like that. Honestly, this movie would have worked so much better if it was rated R and if Blade showed up. Honestly, though, like, I don't know, man. Morbius is not a good movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it like blatantly like that outright. Morbius is not a good movie. It's an experience. That's what it is. But it's not a good movie. However, yeah, so so Morbius gives himself the powers. Milo discovers that he gets the powers, and Milo's like, yeah, bet. And yeah, Milo also gets the vampire powers and all that shit because plot. Plot has to plot. Anyways, Morbius gets taken to jail because he's not exactly framed for the murders of like several people that were just horribly shitty people, but sucking their blood and becoming a cannibal. Cannibal's legal, by the way. You just murder isn't. Cannibalism is legal, but murder isn't. Remember that. So anyways, Morbius gets sent to jail because duh. And Milo comes in and it's like, hey, Morbius, get better. And Milo leaves him a, pouch of blood, the artificial stuff, and walks out. Now, Milo and Morbius have had their cane the entire time they're in the movie, just to indicate that, they got a disease that's making them weak. But Milo leaves his cane inside of Morbius' cell, obviously showing that that Milo took the serum, and Morbius is like, well, fucking shit. Now, it's safe to say, I ship Morbius and Michael. Not Morbius and Michael. What am I talking about? I ship Milo and Morbius. They are such a cute couple. They're besties, Your Honor. Milo basically is like telling Morbius, it's like, Morbius, you have to realize we have powers now. We are many. We are many against the few, or the few against the many, or whatever the fuck the Spartans said, or the Trojan guys said, or whatever the fuck. They really invoke a lot of like Roman warriors and shit like that in the movie. Many against the few. Yeah, that's the quote. And they say that quote like 700 times throughout the entire movie, so get ready to hear that a lot whenever you watch it. Many against the few. And that's basically secured their relationship. Which is funny because as soon as Michael gets he gets taken, not taken, he after like the doctors discovered that Michael is a fucking genius, he gets taken to like a school in like England or something like that, and he becomes like a professor and he gets a Nobel Prize and all that stuff, but he doesn't want the Nobel Prize because it's like, oh, what good is me curing diseases for all these other people if my disease isn't cured? Because I'm a selfish prick. But yeah, so Morbius has Morbius has to deal with his demons. Yeah. Ugh. Shit. Fuck, I'm tired. Basically, as they're walking through, because Morbius fucking breaks out of jail, obviously, because he has to go fight his husband, and they're in the subway and they're talking to each other, and they're just like, "Yo, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing?" And Milo's like, "Dude, we got all these powers. We could like do good with them, or not, because I'm evil." and I like to dance shirtless while working out, and then putting on my suit and going in the mirror, you know. But like, honestly, so Morbius has to defeat him, obviously, and you know, there's some really creepy scenes that Milo is just a creepy dude throughout the entire movie, cause like obviously there's that love triangle between Morbius, Milo, and the nurse chick that I keep forgetting the name of, but she also has an M name, and there once Morbius and nurse lady they start to kiss and date and all that stuff. Milo is just sitting in the distance, just sitting there all like with a sad puppy eyes, and I'm just like, God, that's a mood. But it's creepy. And then out of nowhere, Milo just kidnaps the nerd chick. Like, I swear to you, I shit you not. This literally comes directly after the kiss. Milo just kidnaps her. Well, like Morbius is like out grocery shopping or something like that, and like Milo kidnaps her, and he's just like, "Yo, Morbius, come out to play, yay!" And Morbius has to check and all that stuff. Well, no, because Milo does kill the guy that's been taking care of him since he was a little kid. He basically kills him, and he goes to kidnap the nurse lady. Yeah, that's what he does. And then Morbius goes to fight Milo, and Milo kicks his ass, and the nurse lady is dead, and they end up in a sewer. And Morbius is hanging upside down, like a bat, and he calls his bat friends, which is a massive swarm of fucking bats that all, mess with Milo, and then Morbius stabs him through the heart with the serum that he created to cure himself from the vampire disease, because the vampire disease is a whole disease that nobody really cares about, but the entire movie needs the movie, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's fucking Morbius. It's weird though, cause like at the end of the movie, like the post-credit scene, here's where the vulture shit comes in, because that's a very stupid plot point that no one wants to talk about. But basically, Adrian Toomes just randomly appears in a cell and is immediately like cleared of all charges because he's in another universe, because that's how you get away with murder. Adrian Toomes is in another universe, and he's just walking around. He's just like, what the fuck is happening? But he's like, hope the food's better here, because Adrian Toomes gotta be comedy. And he's like walking around, and he gets out. Now here's the crazy part, because he just, in the MCU, Adrian Toomes' wings are made from Chitauri tech, which is the alien race that attacked New York in 2012. Now, the director of Morbius is like, yeah, if you notice, the wings are different. This isn't your same vulture. Even though the vulture from the MCU originated in the MCU, unless you mean to tell me that Adrian Toomes somehow discovered multiversal travel. The whole plot point of Adrian Toomes being in this universe makes absolutely no fucking sense. Because in order for that to happen, the spell would be like, oh, send all these guys back to their respective universes, except their respective universes are random. Yeah. which is so stupid because the Vulture was not in Spider-Man No Way Home. He was not. So why the fuck did he disappear and come into this universe? We don't know. I don't really care because I'm not watching any more of those movies unless it's The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Oh, and before I go, remember, it's never time for Morbin time. Bye.